Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Today topic is cost of factoring. So let's see what do you mean by cost of factoring. This cost of factoring will include two things, that is financial charges and service fees. So on which things the financial charges will be levied and what are the service charges will be levied. Let's see now. So the cost of factoring comprises of two aspects, namely finance charges and service fees. Since the factor provides 80% of the invoice as credit, he levies finance charges. This charges is normally the same interest rate which are in in the banking system. So this whatever the banking system is going to give you the percentage, based upon that he has to make the financial charges. Factoring is a cheap source because the interest is charged only on the amount actually provided to the client as repayment of his suppliers. Apart from he, Apart from this financial charges, a service charge is also levied. This service fees is charged in the proportion of gross value of the invoice for based on sales volume, number of invoices, work involved in collection. So the service charges will be levied mainly on the sales volume, number of invoices and work involved in the collection, etc. Generally the factor charges are the factor charges service fees on the total turnover of the bill. It is around 1%. So whatever the agent is going to perform the task, for that he is going to get 1% service charges. So on the total turnover he is going to get 1% as an agent and is going to give the services to the client here. The service charges could be reduced depending upon the volume of the work involved. So now here there may be a chances of reducing the service charges if the volume of the work involved, or if that particular payment if the customer is going to make before the due date, then he's going to get the deductions on that. So always as a customer he need to make the payment before the due date so that he can able to get reduce he can able to get the reduction of the service charges. So here the financial charges and the service fees will be include of two things, that is financial charges will be levied on the customer and the service charges will be taken by the agent here. So here the financial charges will be levied on to the customer. So whatever the customer has to pay the remaining amount or the balance amount, on that the financial charges will be imposed. The service charges will be taken by the agent, whatever the services is going to render for the particular client. So this is regarding the cost of factoring. And the next topic is pricing of factoring services. So this pricing of factoring services will include two things, that is factoring fees and or administration charges, and the second one is discounting charges. Let's see what is factoring fees. This factoring fees, this is charged mainly at administrative expenses for providing various services to the client. So whatever the services which are provided to the client, for that they are going to charge factoring fees. So that will include some points. Let's see on what the factoring fees will be included. The factoring fees will be included on sales ledger administration, credit control administration, bad debt administration. So on these three things the factoring fees will be levied by the client to the customer here. So what is the first one? Sales ledger administration, credit control administration, bad debt administration. So on these three things the factoring fee will be included. This factoring fees will also be known as administration charges. This fees is normally computed with reference to the project sales turnover of the client during the next 12 months. It is always quoted as the percentage of project to the total sales turnover. Generally this charge varies between 1% to 2.5% of the project turnover. In fact, the quantum of levy actually depends on several factors as given below. So now this factoring fees will be different for different customers here. So now here he's telling you 1% to 2.4%. So based upon the customer, based upon their reputation in the market, based upon this total turnover, that percentage will be different. That's so for the factoring percentage will be different for different customers. So let's see what qualities as a customer he should have in the market. He should have a good reputation in the market, nature of the industry to which the client belongs. So here we have to see the nature of the industry the client is going to belongs, volume of the sales per annum. So volume of the sales per annum, so how much volume of the sales is going to be produced per annum, that also they'll see. Terms of sales, here in how many terms they'll having the sales, average invoice value, and they'll see the profit margin. Profit margin is nothing but what, so yearly how much profit they are going to get. Based upon that, the client is going to be charged different percentages as factoring fees. So this factoring fees is completely to the client here. Okay, so they'll see all those things based upon his track level, his track record. They are going to get different factoring fees. So this is regarding the factoring fees or administration charges. Next, let's see discounting charges. For providing instant credit to the client by way of repayment, some charges have to be levied. So that charges will be known as discount charges. If suppose the client is going to get the instant credit, so immediate credit if is going to get by way of repayment, then some charges will be levied on that charges will be called as discount charges. These charges are normally linked with the base rate. So base rate is nothing but what, so normally whatever the rate is followed by the market or whatever the rate followed by the economy, that will be called as base rate. So the discounting charges will be levied on the instant credit which are going to get by the client in the by way of repayment. So that is called as discount charges. The next topic is benefits of the client. So here we'll have some benefits of the client. Let's see what are the benefits. First one, financial services, collection services, credit risk services, provision of expertise sales, ledger management services, consultancy services, economy services, trade benefits, miscellaneous services, or balance sheet financing. So these are the benefits of the clients which the client is going to get. The first one, let's see the financial services. Financial services are nothing but what, many of the manufacturers and traders find their working capital being locked up in the form of trade debts. That has been great handicap to the small and medium scale manufacturers, because they have to wait for 3 and 9 months mediums to realize their debts. So in the meantime, the business may suffer due to want of funds. In fact, many business concerns fail more as a result of inadequate cash flow than anything else.